in this draft. So it fascinates me how different the meta is in each region in terms of the popular combos as well as picks. We hardly see any Earthshaker Morphling going on here as opposed to the SEA region that we just got done with Fnatic sweep in the finals. No spoilers. Sorry if you're listening. You can mute now.
And well, we see it. You see, we've seen some all chat already with some good luck, have funs everywhere. And, Moonman are asking where the tips are for Bulba. And, there'll be some tips flying out. Now, it seems like these two pretty good friends, judging from this chat. Seems like NA does have, surprisingly, the friendliest region or the most talk in all chat right now.
We got to be the best at something, Grant.
Yes.
Or everything. Depends how you look at it.
Yeah, eggs in a basket or something. I'm sure there's a saying. KheZu gonna try to steal this top rune, just gonna run it fly. Yeah, you can't really duel that. Meanwhile, bottom, Crit and Bulba going at it with the enemy team, but seems to be a pretty even trade here. Will be 2 for 2. So how does this Quaswex Invoker against SF? Doesn't SF just eventually get level 3 raise? This isn't the worst matchup early for an SF, is it?
No, I think the Invoker was primarily picked for the game.
Okay.
From my impression of talking to mid laners, there's really no hero that just beats SF 1v1. The only way to beat him is really gank him with like an Earthshaker type hero, and the Ember Spirit could potentially roam mid at some point, and Invoker is one of the easiest mids to gank for with the Tornado EMP setup, with the Cold Snap to follow, and overall it's just really annoying to play heroes like DK as well as squishy supports against heroes like Invoker.
In this top lane. So it isn't a Riki Grimstone, as you said. It is the Wraith King Grimstone. Kind of the same. You just have a little less mobility, right? When you Inkswell, you're just running at someone still. And if you get on top of them, probably a pretty good chance for a kill.
Yeah, you also have a single target stun in the mid game that synergizes with that Grimstroke ultimate, so it's not all that bad in terms of synergy. I think Grimstroke is more about his Inkswell nowadays, but it does not mean you can just ignore the fact that his ult doubles the impact of single target stuns. Wraith King is getting harassed a little bit top, but I like how he goes for this Ring of Protection. A lot of times you have to think about, will the opponent offlaner, stuff like Enchantress, Nature's Prophet, they generally always buy a Blightstone, so you buy that Ring of Protection to cancel it out. So you're not at 0 armor in the laning phase.
We see bottom lane, Skeeter getting harassed. So what do you, safe lane DK, how does it differentiate from middle? You obviously get less levels. Maybe you get a little more farm? Is it just...
It's pretty similar. You kind of just get what you get out of the lane. Pretty impossible to bully you away. I think DK is going up in more and more value in the side lanes as they increase his movement speed. Movement speed is much more important in the side lanes than it is mid, just because mid's the most... it's the most protected lane from ganks and such. Like, when the lane's up this far, a lot of carries with low movement speed are at risk of just getting ran down. As we see this engagement going on mid, Cold Snap turning the fight against this SF, uses the Tornado.
In trouble, double raise, there it is, pops the Fairy Fire and barely survives Ryoya and Brawl. I mean, you talk about the one thing in
Neither has
NA.
a salve.
Yeah.
Continue.
I was just saying, in NA, right, all these mid players play each other so much. We don't know much. There's going to be the Cold Snap. He's going to pop Mango. He's going for the raise. He hits it up. There's going to be the right click. Ryoya goes down to Brawl. It looked like he might have even survived that one last right click, but a nice high roll on the damage, and Brawl solo first blood on the Invoker.
And he has a bottle flying out, so as long as he doesn't die in the next, 3 seconds or so, or I guess it's going to be at base, so the next 30 seconds or so, and he's going to be up to full with that Salve Mango. Yep. He's good to go. Perfectly fine investing in regen after you get that first blood. SF off to a hot start, but I agree with Blitz's analysis. I'm not a huge fan of SF as opposed to something like Monkey King, because both have big ultimates that when they kill Wraith King, SF's is over. Wraith King's going to respawn in a fresh new start with no SF ulti. As a hero like Monkey King, on the other hand, that ultimate's still going to be going. So yeah, that's why I do like those type of heroes better against the Wraith King. So there's a lot of weight on this SF shoulders, but they did alleviate the need for a frontliner by picking this DK. I'm just concerned about DK's ability to frontline mid to late game, because the Wraith Kings do naturally go for that Silver Edge, which eliminates any and all of that armor that DK has from his passive.
So we did see KheZu just TP's home. Still one of the few heroes with that global presence, obviously with the nerf to Boots of Travel. Most heroes just can't do much like that, but Nature's Prophet, he's always been able to. Well, we're to see Moonmeander chasing Golden Roche. CRTZ's Courier ends up just getting right-clicked down. And Brawl right now, he is having a pretty good time middle. 17-8 versus 13-3, and obviously the first blood as well. The Shadow Fiend is, what do you do when you get ahead of Shadow Fiend, right? Do you try to get runes in gank lanes, or do you just farm jungle and farm middle?
I want to see him play as optimally in terms of farm as possible without getting killed. Like, his only way back as Invoker is to kill you. Some heroes like Storm and stuff, when they lose their lane, they're going to jungle farm, and SF's supposed to pressure the tower in the meantime. But with Invoker as your opponent, you got to be very careful. He's never going to recover other than just killing you. And don't overstep, but do be efficient in the meantime. Get that first like survivability item, whether or not you go for like the Manta right-click build or you go the Eul's build. I'm leaning more towards the Eul's this game against the Legion Commander duel, against the Wraith King in fights. Obviously, you can dodge EMP as well.
All right, we just see them tipping each other, just throwing some spells. It is going to be the 5-minute runes. What are we looking to see? Fly going to get one top as well as Moon Meander. It's going to be a 3-for-1 rune exchange for EG. Doesn't seem like the bottom lane, Owie and Skeeter, they're just happy dominating their lane. Don't really care about that first bounty rune. You see Moon Meander with the Tranquils just chasing down Grimstroke, but Bassi as well as a headdress. You know, a mini little aura Grimstroke. So where do you want to see the first movement? That we've seen Crit. He's been trying to gank middle, but there was a Radiant Ward just chilling in that bottom Radiant jungle. It finally has gone away, but it saved him from 2 or 3 ganks. But there are 3 heroes middle now. Fly is here. Crit is here.
This is exactly what Brawl should be doing. Whenever they're missing, just back off. This is really important for mid laners to think about. When you're ahead, how does he come back? And like I said, you have these farming heroes that come back, pressure their tower. You have these kill heroes that come back, just play efficiently, rotate between mid and jungle. And that's exactly what you're seeing here. He is walking into the river, oddly enough, going aggressively pathing for the rune. Yeah. I think Brawl kind of left himself vulnerable there, but they choose not to go on EG. Maybe a bit scared of having some damage issues with their lower levels.
And we see the wards middle. Moon Meander gets one on each side, so it feels like, you know, they're really protecting Brawl. You see that one on the hill, it spotted Fly, and the one here. Pretty much, if you don't get those counter wards, Brawl's just going to be free farming in this middle lane.
Arteezy's living the dream, though. I think that free damage that Wraith King gets from his passive is just insane. He is doing a nice body block by KheZu, but he can just phase boot through those. Tries to lifesteal sustain is Arteezy, but you can't outclick the Blightstone plus 5 Treants. He does have the Skeletons maxed out 0-2-3 build that we've been seeing a lot in NA as we see the Tornado EMP onto the SF. Just draining a little bit, or, you know, stealing a little bit of mana nowadays.
Oh, middle. There's going to be a stun. It is only level 1. There's going to be TP in. It's a double raise,
wow,
triple raise,
sick.
Easy. They will get a hold on Moon Meander, but I'm sure Crazy is completely okay, and it looks like Moon Meander might not even go down. Crit wants to right-click him, but Brawl, oh my goodness, just slaps Fly 3 times, and he's below half HP.
That was really good recognition from both Moon Meander and Brawl. After the Invoker uses Tornado EMP, he has no way to protect himself anymore other than the Ghost Walk, which is still a pretty underwhelming way against the SF, who's just going to raise you because you're so slow at this point in the game.
Yeah, you don't got that move speed with the Ghost Walk. Yeah, you're moving at about 5. And so Moon Meander, these wards, I just have to say, they're protecting Brawl so well in this game.
It's super important. They fully recognize the way that Ryoya can climb back into this game and what this last pick Invoker is responsible for. Space creation. Rotations to the Legion to enable the duels. Allow the Wraith King to just farm. As Moon Meander doing a little feed meandering here.
Maybe, there's the ink swell. Oh, well. Does stick up now, okay. He will go down. So it is the 3-man rotation, or 2-man rotation, pardon me, with Crit and Fly.
With the regen rune. The dream. The 50-50 guess into what I would probably say is the perfect rune for SF right now. He can go farm like 3 camps, meanwhile going to come out of it full health, full mana.
Well, top lane Arteezy pushing it in, getting that tower below 50% HP soon. And it feels like there's just a lot of heroes going middle. Who does this favor then for these independent cores? Obviously, like you said, it's Arteezy versus KheZu top. And it is Owie and Skeeter pretty much 2v1ing Bulba bottom. But Bulba is still level 6 getting his own.
Yeah, you're never going to kill Bulba when you have safe lane DK. You might kill him now that you have the ultimate. It does do a lot of damage over time and does make your stun range with the 2-1-2 build, but DK not known to be exactly an aggressive safe laner. He's much less about like taking the early towers. You do represent the threat if the opponent ever rotates, so you kind of glue the off laner to your lane at the very least. But it's not like where you try to have this timing push. SF doing exactly what we talked about him having to avoid, getting caught out by
Will
the
they be
three-man
okay?
gank.
Kezu's here. Bryle still alive. Crit wants to get this kill. He
Oh,
doesn't
gets
even
the
get
chains
the
onto the
chains.
trees.
Oh no, Bryle.
The urn.
It will kill him.
No XP given, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Crazy is super happy with that. And you see the power of nature's prophet. There's not really anywhere to TP there, but hey, you don't need anywhere to TP. You can just globally do it wherever. And nice job with the Treant Micro. Like you said, the chains didn't attach. And man, so Bradley's like, well, I didn't want to die, but hey, at least I didn't give too much away there.
I am fascinated to see what Skeeter elects to go for on this safe lane DK. I know Nico Baby's played it, but I actually don't know much about what the build is.
Well, what would you want to see him go? Do you want to see damage? Do you want to see auras? Maybe even just a Heaven's Halberd, a BKB? Feels like a lot of choices.
I think you need like one farming item, whether or not that's maybe like a Maelstrom or whether or not it's like an S&Y for movement speed. Because once you get to level 12, you do have... I'm pretty sure you'll just willingly pop your ultimate off cooldown in order to hit creeps because you get that free splash damage. It's just a matter of if you're a carry and your SF kind of falls off, right? And the same with Nature's Prophet a bit. You do need to have some item that makes you scale. He goes for the Shadow Blade. This was my other thought. He might go for like that pseudo farm, pseudo aggression item. You don't want to rush the blink on safe lane DK, so he elects to go for a little bit in between with the Shadow Blade. Don't know if I love it, but it's still a pretty good luxury item as you go Silver Edge later on in the game, which has been buffed like a bajillion times now.
It seems the lane's honestly pretty much the same as before, just a couple of rotations mid from EG. Those heroes still staying there. You see Fly and Crit, they're just kind of hanging around this middle lane, not getting too much done. And Moonlander looks like he just wants to stack for the SF in his own jungle.
Oh, Crit's only level 4. Does he have the courier with the tome flying out? No.
Oh, they're moving in top. It is going to be Kezu. He's getting gone on Inkswell. There are TZ. Doesn't even have the stun,
no
but
stun.
luckily this time you don't need it. You know, I'm not the biggest fan, but hey, well, you get the kill.
He had the point saved. I've seen people do this. He hasn't needed to level his ult defensively yet, so he could have leveled his stun if Nature's Prophet tried to TP away or anything.
Well, in this middle lane, we've been talking about, it's now a 4-level lead, BSJ. 11 on the Shadow Fiend, 7 on the Invoker. An absolute beatdown right now. But they're trying to push it. The bullet there, chance go. Will they be able to get the duel? They do it now. Bro, he's in a lot of trouble. They get the kill. Owie's there as well, and he's just going to get run down. A nice triple stun. And oh my goodness, it's into the ulti. Owie's doing so much damage. Is it enough? Crit won't go down, but Fly does. Owie does end up going down. That was close to just a triple kill for the Crystal Maiden there.
I was memeing about getting the double duel just because I wanted him to get the damage, but that might have actually almost thrown the fight, the fact that the duel came out about a half a second before the Grimstark ultimate.
Scary stuff, but they do get Brown. He was worth a lot. Oh, regen will get scooped up. Carapace doing a ton of damage to Rioya. Will that be enough? Drain the rest of his mana? Got the Orb of Venom, but Moonmanor just pops the stick, has the rain drop. He'll be okay for now.
Bryle queues up the drums. Not sure how I feel about that. They are trying to go pretty mid-game heavy, but I think he kind of just dies anyway.
What would you want? Like a Euls or a first item
BKB?
even?
Euls or like Manta or BKB. Just some item to dispel the Urn Cold Snap.
Yeah.
I think if you get Urn Cold Snapped, you're probably going to die unless your entire team's behind you. And most of the time, he's going to be hitting creeps, right? So it just leaves you vulnerable a large portion of the game. Bulba gets that beautiful Fated Brooch on the Legion Commander, who, with that overwhelming odds, gives you the % movement speed bonus, which is amped by the Fated Brooch. So it just feels really good on Legion to have any movement speed items. Going for that Blink Dagger early. He's going to be a race car that also is going to initiate for EG. I honestly like EG's chances, despite the fact that they are down 1K right now. Arteezy is a recipe away from his Radiance. 13 minutes in the game. Already has the Sacred Relic. He is quite rich.
He is. Is there a certain point where just EG, do they have the stronger overall late game with this Wraith King? Is it just the Wraith King? I don't even want to say Quasspike Invoker is that strong, or does Crazy scale okay-ish?
I think Wraith King, in my, like, theoretically speaking, would outscale DK, just because you buy the Silver Edge and his game's pretty bad, but I'm just going to be honest with you, I don't know too much about safe lane DK. And we'll just kind of have to see how it plays out. He is going for the Halberd, as you possibly mentioned, for the DK. That just doesn't scream to me, I'm going to scale.
Yeah, it
which
sounds
is
like
the problem.
it's looking like mid-game items. Drum on the Shadow Fiend, this Heaven's Halberd as well on the
Mech
DK.
on the Prophet,
Yeah.
going pipe after.
It feels like this is almost the timing they want to have. Oh, Skeeter, he's Shadow Bladed up, and this smoke did end up breaking, but they don't see it because he's Shadow Bladed.
No, they had a sentry in the middle.
Oh, they did, but it looks like Fly might be the one going down. Stun is there. He's still alive. Finally, Nature's Prophet ulti will kill him. Kezu TP's in. Looks like they want to take this fight on EG. The duel is there. Moonmeander will go down. Skeeter in a little bit of trouble, but Aoi, once again, he's getting a free ulti off. There goes Ryoya. Bryle and Aoi doing so much damage together.
Something tells me Crystal Maiden shouldn't be able to get a full duration ultimate off even once this game, and he's already done it twice. I think he's just being really patient, letting these initial stuns from EG come out. And that was a good timing play by Crazy, knowing that Wraith King is almost to that Radiance, and they're going to have to be quite careful of fighting into EG again now that he's going to have it delivered to him on the courier.
Yep, looks like about be delivered at about 15 minutes. Skeeter is running down low. Level 2 ulti is on the Wraith King, so he does have another life.
He's all
Will
alone.
the Radiance make it here by the time he respawns is the question. It's flying out.
No tier 1 tower to TP2. EG's running. I think they might pay the price on Crazy here. I don't think they're killing him fast enough.
They're not, but they do back away nicely. Will Crit be able to find the Crystal main at least moving forward? Doesn't have the slide up. There it is, going to be a slide change into the EMP. There's a duel right now onto the Nature's Prophet. Will the Inkswell be enough? They don't get the duel damage. They do get the double kill, though. Fly actually gets it with the Inkswell. They're all running away from this Shadow Fiend who just popped ulti. He fears them back. Kezu buys back and globally teleports in. Ryoya could be in a little trouble. Will Moonmeander hit it? No, he cancels it out, and now he's going to look for Fly. Crit TP's out, and it felt like a pretty good rotation from EG, but you know, Crazy? They actually gain a little bit of a gold lead, even with the buyback from Kezu.
Can Bulba just be a bit more disciplined and wait half a second for the Grimstroke to ultimate so he gets the double duel? I'm not saying it for the damage. He would be locking down one of the supports at the same time that he's locking down a core.
Pretty good.
The level of communication on that aspect seems a bit underwhelming from EG so far, but either way, I think both teams are kind of okay with what happened bottom there. Pretty even exchange.
Oh. We have the two sentries there. I'm pretty sure they saw each other, and they're both like, oh, I hope he didn't see me. You guys saw each other. We'll bottle up that regen rune. Another nice one to have. If you can somehow get out of a fight low, pop that, and come back in.
Arteezy is queuing up the Shadow Blade. Has the Essence Ring. Value mana regen, to be honest with you, and in the fights does give you that burst of health. He only has 1,400 health, so 425 health is no joke.
That's quite a bit. Kezu running away right now. We saw him. He did use buyback in that last fight to try to turn it around.
You have the blink on Bulba.
He is going to blink in. Oh my goodness, they just go for the duel. Will they get the duel damage? Probably not. Will they even get this kill? There's a TP in from Moonman. This is a pretty scary place. He has the mech. He gets it off. Wand as well. And now it might be Fly. The next
for
one
4
going
seconds.
down. He can't have it. There's going to be Aoi. Does get canceled this time. A nice triple tornado from Ryoya. Nuke comes out from Fly.
Arteezy ult up.
Everyone's pretty low, and he does have that ulti. Bryle will get his ult up. There's going to be the EMP.
This is what I was
Drains
saying.
Bryle. He has the regen, but I don't think he can get out of there. There goes Bryle. Crit dies next. Moonman with a nice stun. Arteezy, he's already used his ulti. Now, Grimstroke will get the stun off on DK. Can they get Arteezy out of here? Doesn't look like can. He pops the Essence Ring. Still trying to run. 10 stick charges popped by the Nyx Assassin. Gets the silence so he can't throw the stun. And nice stun by Arteezy. Wall the bugs on him so he can't carapace. And yes, indeed, it looks like he's out. But Fly, you might be paying the price. You saved your teammate, though, and I'm sure he'll take that.
Oh, that was a fight of inches. Arteezy was mid-raise and gets cold snapped to finish off Arteezy with 2-second cooldown on his ultimate. And then there, obviously narrowly escaping. Well played by EG, all things considered. This DK seems to be proving quite the issue. He did a lot of damage in that fight. You see there, basically a third of their team fight damage this early on in the game with that splash damage on his ultimate.
Uh-oh, middle. Moonmeander could be in a little bit of trouble, or maybe it's Ryoya who's in trouble. It's
catching who,
definitely
yeah.
Ryoya in trouble. Moonmeander takes some damage, but he'll get that kill. And yeah, Ryoya, he is the Quaswags and Vogard. Wasn't going to scale too much anyways, but now he is falling very far behind very quickly.
Yeah, this is a first-round Nyx, and they have no instant stuns. So he will almost always carapace, and that's a pretty big deal scaling into the mid to late game. So my only question mark this whole time has been this DK. I emphasize again, I don't even know if EG fully understands how this hero scales as we pull into the replay of that last fight. We'll let you guys know if anything relevant's going on. 4-position Ember does go down in the mid lane, but we see this initiation onto the Nature's
There's a
Prophet.
pretty
He's
big
quite
fight going on
tanky.
middle now, but we'll see. They do.
Nothing of importance is happening during this replay as we see the
They
Grimstroke
get the
ultimate
duel, and
into
it
the
will be
double duel.
They get him. It's Kezu going down. That is technically still a dieback. Skeeter, they have the center
He
with
has
their.
no ult for
He
2
gets slowed.
seconds.
Nice stun from Moon Meander, though. Gets him out of there. And you gotta still be scared. This Wraith King is farmed, does have a Radiance. You don't just really want to run up in their face, and Boba does get the double duel that time.
Only gets 1 dual damage, but the fact is he's locking down 2 heroes. It's doubling the impact of Legion in a game like this because he is their primary source of initiation. The Tornado just seems like better follow-up this game than a fight starter. As Skeeter looks again, crit no sentry this time around. They did de-ward it from the Radiant side. Nyx with the follow-up impale, boom. He's dead. That's a 4-position Ember, though.
Moon Meander has been having quite the game. 4, 2, and 5 involved in 9 of the 12 kills. And let's be real, hitting that Nyx stun's not as easy as sometimes it looks. You'd think it's like, oh, this is an easy stun. Then like you throw it down, you're like, oh, that's pretty short range. He's done a good job of connecting 2 to 3 man every time.
Remember when that ability was targetable?
Yeah.
Those were the easy days of Dota. Now they've made every hero so complicated in terms of button pressing, like Visage and Lone Druid.
Oh, they're going for Roche, but it seems like EG wants to smoke up possibly. There's 4 of them here. They're at least running that way. Who do you favor? This is a full 5-on-5 BSJ.
I'm not sure who I like here.
You do have the ult back for Wraith King. He does have a Shadow Blade now. Whether he wants to use it aggressively or defensively to get out, he will throw a quick pause. And, well, Bryle, is Bryle in no man's land? He's just in Roche by himself with no escape item. He has the BKB, obviously. So worst comes to worst, you just run out, BKB and run out, or TP.
I think as long as you reactionarily BKB to Legion blinking on you, you're okay.
Okay.
That would actually be a good fight for Crazy. As long as he's thinking like that and he's ready, then that's good. Because if he gets dueled while BKB'd, I don't think he's going to die. And then that could result in a easily turned fight for Crazy. Now we get a replay of the last fight that you guys might have missed the beginning of. Ember does get initiated by that Shadow Blade DK.
But then you see ulti coming in from Fly on the backside. Nice EMP. Tornado kind of misses, but in comes Fly, gets the silence off on Kezu. Toss them together, get that duel. You do only get the damage as you talked about, but it locks them in place. And if that was any other hero but the DK, that would have been a double kill, but a very tanky boy right now. It's a 2K lead right now for Crazy, but it feels like we're just sitting around this 1 to 3K lead for Crazy the whole time, which means both teams are efficiently farming since they're keeping up with each other.
Kind of have the Alchemist effect for EG going on here, where you have one hero with all the net worth, but Wraith King does scale a bit harder in regards to that late game, so it's kind of hard to gauge, you know. In the games we've seen so far this patch, when the Alchemist net worth looked like this, it ended up doing decently. And Wraith King is one of the best 1v5ers in the game, assuming he does need his support cast to be alive, but in terms of the net worth distribution, he's one of the best.
And Nyx Assassin, we haven't talked too much about the support items, already has that Vlad's. Meanwhile, Crystal Main just getting a little bit tankier with that double bracer. On the other side, what's Crit going for? He's going for a Meteor Hammer on Ember. We've seen this a few times. You like the build. Do you just bola and then Meteor Hammer, or what do you do with this on the position 4 Ember?
Yeah, I've seen Jubei do this a lot. Oddly enough, he loves this build. You can cast Meteor Hammer while in Slight.
Yeah.
So if you're like 1,000 units away and you catch them at the edge of your Slight, you can effectively Meteor Hammer 1,000 range.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting, but also kind of gimmicky.
Yeah. A Meteor Hammer in general is pretty gimmicky as an item, and now you just make it even more.
Yeah, I'm also imagining Crit doing that on 110 ping, so it's like kind of interesting combo to pull off. You have to push like 4 buttons in a matter of 1 second on delay, so it's interesting.
You're watching Arteezy push in middle lane. The mana burn, pretty annoying. It is only level 1, so Arteezy's not too mad, but until he gets 4 more levels, his mana is very important to him.
I do like this Nyx build a lot. Usually you have to buy like a Yules or something like that on Nyx to survive, but this game, I mentioned, they have no instant stuns, so he's quite survivable, not itemizing for himself at all. So they're just going to itemize to sustain through this Wraith King Radiance burn. Pipe on the Nature's Prophet, Vlad's on the Nyx. Quite an impactful item for a hero like SF in terms of manning up in the middle of the fight with his BKB. If he gets taken down to half without a Vlad's, he may have to use that BKB to run away, but now he can definitely just right-click his way back in.
We'll see Silver Edge queued up for Wraithking. You talk about top lane though, Crit, he'll be found. Pretty simple, you know, stun out a Shadow Blade into double raise right clicks, you'll get a freebie.
That's why they made the Ember a support, pretty much. It's just that easy to kill Ember with the draft that Crazy has.
That wasn't even a Nyx assassin, who is even easier to do it on top of him, but there's Roshan. Bryle just right clicking it. Can they fight? This doesn't feel like they can. They're just gonna have to give it up on EG's side.
Yeah, I don't think they 100% know what's going on. They're suspicious of it.
And they scan it, but they need to get there in the next 5 seconds or else it's going down. Sunstrike is going to fly out. It scouts it out, but there goes Roche.
The thing is, when they're all missing and they get that kill top, there's one of two options. They're either roshing or they're smoked into you, going to kill you mid. And so EG has to play really passively. And I think they're maybe a bit slow at that scan to check about the Roche. Maybe it was on cooldown. As we see top, they're just going to pressure the tower. They have the Presence Aura affects buildings talent on Shadow Fiend, so they clearly intended to hit this push timing with this Aegis.
And it's a scary one, because as you said, the DK, he doesn't really go
He
damage
bottom.
items, but he has a lot, yeah. And they will go for the bot lane. Arteezy still only level 17, not even that level 3 ulti yet.
EG's
They
fully
back
aware
out.
of this, though. Nobody's showing top on Crazy after taking that tier 2. It's a bit suspicious and a bit slow because he had a long TP. I think the CM TP'd first, which makes it just a tad bit slow. And as Bryle's isolated, does have
that's
Aegis.
not good. He has the Aegis, but there's going to be the duel. Can they get the damage at least? Yes, they do. Do you just back out or you take this fight? Seems they just want to back out. Honestly, no one's there from Radiant, but you don't want to risk it, right? They're coming a little bit closer, but they just back out and they get the damage on Bulba.
It's just standard misplay from Bryle there. Your team TP'd bottom. EG saw it. They know you're there. So anyone who shows anywhere else on the map, they're going to punish. And so the only reason you don't TP to your own safe lane is because of that potential abuse of that map movement that you have. And so your team makes sure you have to adjust when you do that. Courier? No, he takes the real prize.
He wants the kill, yeah.
I would have gone for that Courier for sure and then lost the game.
Yeah. Throws up the clumsy net, Realia trying to stay alive. A nice tornado, not nice enough. Moonmeander will end up getting that kill. And so both mid laners kind of out of position a few times this game by themselves.
One had an Aegis though, so he gets to come back and continue pushing with his team. Is going for the SNY. I do like this. SNY Satanic stands out to me as quite a good build here. My issue with the hero when they picked it was that he couldn't stand his ground in fights. And the Yule's combo seems like a good build, but this game particularly, like, what are you going to do? Yule's combo the Wraith King, who's always going to be revealing himself in the front of the fight, and then what do you do after? What do you do after that? So,
and there's Shadowblade, Skeeter's Shadowblade between the tier 2 and tier 3 crit. Might know sums up, but Skeeter, what a find. Big boy play there from the DK. And you don't have the Aegis. Do you go high ground? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, BKB SF. I don't think this DK is dying unless he gets silver edged.
And he is scared. Whoa, Moonmeander. He walks uphill, maybe looking for a Radiance burn to proc. Will be the tornado to clear out the creep wave here. And they do have to back out, and losing the Aegis the way they did does hurt a little bit now, because now you're not as confident pushing this high ground.
You just want EG to prove that they're all in their base. That's, I think, the maneuver of Moonmeander walking up the high ground and carapissing preemptively just makes it so he doesn't just walk up and get silenced and die. You know, that's not what you want to do. You're checking, you're making sure they're in base, and now that you've corralled them a bit, you're dictating their map movements. EG is trying to make their way back onto the map, but DK ult is on cooldown, so I don't think Crazy is going to look to fight in the next 60 seconds.
Man, I just want to say, these boys on Radiant are getting a lot of armor. I'm just looking at Nature's Prophet. He has 36 armor and almost that full Solar Crest, so 3 more armor. You have that Vlad's, and there's the duel. They actually find Moonmeander. Will this be enough to get the kill before the silence is on him? They don't get the duel damage, but they do get the kill. Owie goes down the backline as well, and Bryle's running forward. Arteezy, he's right behind you. Got to be careful. It is all 3 cores together. Stun goes out. Bryle will BKB it. Crit locks down one. It's Skeeter. Spirit Vessel on him, so he will be taking some damage here. Crit wants to continue to lock him down. Bola's up in 2. Willie Slight hits Skeeter here. Goes invis. Will be okay, but a quick 2 for EG.
Very strange decision-making from Crazy when they're ahead in this kind of game. They are up by 7,000 net worth, but you have no DK for him, and he's not quite at a BKB. Seems like a pretty clear-cut timing to wait for.
And Arteezy, he's taking the spider legs. You got the extra turn rate, tons of move speed, and you can just crawl all around the map.
I think of spider legs, spider legs. I think of it every single time, man. I can't help it, man.
Eh,
It's a problem, but it seems like a decently reasonable
it's a
one.
good one. You have a great singing voice, BSJ.
Thank you.
Wraith
Even though that's
King.
completely not true.
Yeah, I know. I just,
Shut up.
BSJ.
You could say, you just don't have to say anything, you know?
Oh, Legion rotating on bottom. Not really anyone with him. Bulba needs to be careful here because Moon Meander now can vision. Oh, Sentry Ward goes down. They should see him, but Moon Meander might just be able to get a stun. He does. It only ends one. Saves Fly, but Fly instantly goes down, and they want to chase forward
Keep
for
him behind.
more. It's going to be pretty scary because this DK with the Solar Crest on him, Kezu won't be able to find anyone. A nice path taken.
They have no
from
creeps,
Crit and Bulba.
so they can't do anything with this other than look for kills, and that's exactly what they're doing. Cut across the map. Or no, Bulba's predicting that they're doing that.
And they are all of Dire just running up top. Radiant trailing a little bit behind them. Gotta still be careful, but now you kind of have the vision. Yeah, you see them all with that outpost, so you know Crazy's up here. Do you just get out if you're EG? It seems like they might want to take a fight here.
They saw the DK in the ward, so they preemptively dusted him.
Uh-oh, and that's a lot of damage. There's the Silver Edge. He's just dead. Skeeter, he gets dueled. That's a ton of damage as well. 74 already for Bulba. Moonmander pops his Carapace. RTZ getting right click. Doesn't even matter if he has mana, though. No reincarnation. Mana cost is up. Bryle does get crit on, but RTZ right click down from that Solar Crest. He's still alive. Crit makes it out, and they're just going into the tree line. And they're pinging to the left side, but RTZ, he gave him a little bit of a juke, heads to the right. And that's just they get a DK kill.
He didn't turn his radiance off, so he almost got carapaced by the Nyx.
Gotta watch out for that, my
Yeah.
friend. RTZ, you know that. Getting very close to a full assault Curious now. Wraith King not even showing he's really going that. Obviously, they normally do, but hiding most of his items on the courier. Uh-oh, bottom lane. There we go. Stun comes out. Carapace comes out. There's the raise. 2, 3. They get the first kill. Can they
dead
finish it
twice.
up? There is no tier 1 tower like you've talked about. The ulti from Shadowfiend gets stunned up, and there's the kill. RTZ, he gets run down. You said it before. They just run across the map. They follow RTZ all the way down there.
Yeah, he's just still farming for next game. I'm just kidding. I'm going along with all the memes. I think both teams are doing a really good job of watching what the opponent's doing, and anytime they know a hero's alone on a particular part of the map, they're punishing it really hard. So both teams, I think, got to clean up their movements just a bit, sticking together better as a team. At this point in the game especially, both teams have very ample amounts of pickoff.
Yes.
They might just walk down mid. They have DK form. They have no BKB on DK yet, but I think the Silver Edge is his main threat.
And there's no RTZ for 35, and they don't know if he has a buyback, but I'm pretty sure they know it's RTZ, and he does not want to waste his gold trying to defend this buying back, even if he did have it. So they'll punish this tier 3 a
It's
ton
going
of
to go down.
damage.
Probably Rax as well if he doesn't buy back.
And he can't, so it's not looking good. Look at all these mangoes. Bryle gets 3, Skeeter gets 3, mangoes for everyone.
Quite a bit scared. I'm surprised with that presence of the Dark Lord. But if they were to all die there, that would be
Pretty
disastrous.
game-throwy.
Yeah, so they do find 2 quickening charms
Oh.
simultaneously on
All
both
right.
sides.
Who's taking one on each team? Is it the Nyx Assassin?
I'd say it's probably the Nyx or the CM on Radiant and probably Ember on
Ember?
Dire. Yeah.
Oh, Dragon Scale. It's funny, too. They both had the Dragon Scales on their team, so they're just, like, gaining items together. Like, yeah.
It's just a
sticking around.
bonding
Oh,
experience.
it's actually the Invoker going the quickening charm.
Oh, that's good too. Yeah.
That
yeah.
makes sense. So, Arteezy pushing on forward. Does have his ulti up again. That Assault Curse, he was at 1,700 when he was farming, so pretty much just lost a full almost minute and a half of his farm time there. Top lane, Owie's moving up. What did he buy? He has an item. It's a full Glimmer Cape going out for the Crystal main, so even more survivability. And yeah, crazy. They're 12K. Does it feel like they're 12K up?
It's weird. It doesn't feel like anything's happening, and they're just. I guess it's just
They're
3
so
cores
quick.
farming as opposed to 1 is really what's happening here.
As you say, it feels like this is very Beast Coast-esque, where they're like, please, Arteezy Hector, you need to carry us. But
RTZ Hector.
it doesn't feel like they know how to play that play style quite as well as Beast Coast does right now.
It's just not an NA way to play. Is to
Have only one
constantly
core.
move around the map and make space for somebody. It just doesn't work that way in this region.
And okay, Shadow Fiend does get his level 20 as well, 2 damage per soul, so he's doing about 350 a hit, plus all that minus armor he's given out. He is a scary boy, almost a full Satanic as well in the Shadow Fiend with the Paladin sword. That's a tough kill.
Yeah, I like the build a lot against the Legion Commander specifically. He can frontline.
Ooh, bottom, Bulba. What a stun from Moonmeander. Gets it max strength. Who else is coming down? It's Bryle and Owie. Do we have the lockdown Crystal main?
He's
trying
fast.
to get there, and yeah, he gets the blink away. I don't believe you'll be able to get him. They won't. It's a good effort. They're just showing we're always going to have pressure on you. We're not going to allow you to do the normal EG thing of farming multiple lanes. And they just right-click down this tier 2 tower bottom. Skeeter, scary as all can be, especially with that level 3 ulti. Do we see a Black Dragon next, BSJ?
I think he's going to buy a natural armor item like AC because of the Silver Edge. Yeah, you have the Vlad Solar, but I think you want to tank up past your passive.
Oh, there's going to be BKB getting popped. Skeeter just right-clicking him down. It will be Fly, first one to die. Sure will. Clumsy net on top of it. And now Wraith King, he's kind of just stuck in the middle of nowhere. Nice Carapace tanking up that stun. Crit and Real on the backside looking for Owie. Owie does end up going down. Bryle, BKB, ulti, Arteezy, feared away. This might be another one. He gets the duel off. He's just going to lose it, though. Bryle says thank you for the damage. And this is looking real bad for Evil Genius. It's 15K down, and they're chasing for more. KheZu, gets the trap on Crit. Oh, no. He has one more slight, but that's about it. He can't get it off, and it's a 4-for-1, an absolute beatdown from Crazy. Man, KheZu, we keep talking about KheZu. He always gets his farm. You see the fight recap there, gold change about almost a 3,000 swap. But the big thing, EXP, 6,000 EXP change. My goodness, and there's the Satanic. Is the Shadow Fiend killable anymore?
No. I'm digging this item build, honestly. I was surprised he got away with the drums just because I thought he needed a BKB ASAP, but at this point in the game, because Wraith King's their only farmed hero and they have this Halberd on the DK,
Yeah, you see the replay here.
you're going to see Wraith King tries to output damage as he mans up, but he misses the Silver Edge hit because he BKBs preemptively. You can't apply that into the BKB, and then he gets Halberded.
Yeah,
Here, and then you just can't do anything.
Yeah, nice play by Skeeter is what it sounded like. Gets the BKB off, can't get Silver Edge, and then halberds him. And Skeeter, he's looking good right now. The safe lane DK, a little bit of a steal right from the Chinese scene is what we've been talking about.
That's the Bulbo we know and love right there, boys.
Flinking and give the dual damage. And Shadow Fiend, oh man, so much damage. Almost 400 a hit without even factoring in all that minus armor they have.
Bulbo just needs a blade mail now that he's fed that damage.
Oh,
It'll all be the 5-head play for sure.
Honestly, where do you go for your EG? It feels like you look at that net worth chart, and you don't even have the top net worth Pinata anymore. Bryle has just passed the Wraith King, and then the next two after is so easily the Nature's Prophet and DK. No one's even close.
I'm not sure what you do. I don't know how you win fights. I think DK is pretty unkillable at this point.
He has a cheese and greater
Yeah,
fairy fire as well. Yeah.
He's got the 25 strength talent too, so he's sitting on 3,200 health.
He's a beef boy.
Once he gets that plate mail, I actually don't see how you kill him at all. Because the Silver Edge right now is pretty much the only way, I think. And he did a really good job there of preemptively BKBing. There's really nothing else to preemptively BKB. And he knows the Silver Edge is make or break for him because it literally breaks him.
They're rotate on bottom right now. Bryle and Moonmeander moving around together.
They have the gym. He's looking, trying to carapace, but he does have the Arteezy does have the Radiance turned off. They both have spider legs.
Oh, scary stuff. If Arteezy gets caught there, he's definitely dying twice. Turns back on his Radiant. Well, he's going to be farming the enemy team jungle. Skeeter just pops a Shellblade. They're still looking. They're like, yo, Arteezy could still be here. They are really, man. They are really looking for him.
He's just leaving his Radiance off. He hasn't had it on for like the last minute and a half. That's a problem against playing Wraith King into Nyx. Any hero that buys Radiance, the old Lifestealer, doesn't feel good when you have to turn it off to farm.
Teal just pinged right on top of him.
No way.
Skeeter pinged on top.
No
Moonmeander.
No. Moon. Dude, Moon.
No, the skeletons. He doesn't have the Radiance on. Do you just
stun,
throw the stun?
dude.
No,
just stun.
Moonmeander.
No, just throw it out, dude.
Skeeter somehow pinging it out. I have no clue. And then Moonmeander couldn't quite find him. Arteezy.
That's the EU game sense, man.
It is. That sigh of relief. My goodness. You're still 18K down, but that could have very well just been the game if he goes down twice there.
I love the bird's eye view in those type of scenarios. Sometimes those players just have no idea how close they really were. Skeeter gets gone on the bottom lane. BKB's and man's up.
And yeah, he doesn't care too much there. He's going to be an Alacrity, and he just runs away. Do we have the duel? He gets it off. He has BKB. This is a tough kill. The BKB does work. He gets the stun on the Crystal Main, so he can't do anything. Bull pops his BKB. Skeeter does end up going down. Owie throwing out that ulti, not doing too much. Only to Arteezy, who does still have that ulti. And now they're going for Bryle. Oh my goodness, the Alacrity Solar Crest stop at Arteezy. But Bryle, he throws that. They stay Titanic, and they're just life-stealing off each other. Bryle actually ends up losing that fight.
That looked like a 2K right-click battle.
Does. He has the Aegis, and now Moonmeander, he has Spider Legs trying to break down all these trees. Arteezy running. The dust does finally hit him in the Solar Crest to slow him down. Kezu get a TP. He goes into the jungle. Do we have it? No. Spider Legs
Spider
on
Legs.
over. Is there a chance he survives? BSJ, what's the percentage?
17.
My goodness, that's a pretty high percentage. He is still just running. No
Spider Legs.
lockdown quite yet. Will the tower bring him down? No, he
No
has tons
way.
of armor.
Do the Spider Leg on Spider Leg action.
Wow, and Arteezy, he might be
He
making
does it again.
It doesn't hit,
Oh,
though.
it missed.
I thought it hit. That looked close enough, but it won't. Will Arteezy TP at the top of this hill? No, he's just running. My goodness.
That was the 17. Barely missing the dust.
That's a 5K gold swing out of nowhere, and we thought, I don't know, I thought Arteezy was pretty underfarmed, but I guess if you get Solar Crest and Alacrity, it's kind of like you have 10K more net worth.
Very true.
And well, you saw how they do in that fight. They do get this. They get the duel off, and they got the Silver Edge before the BKB, so they got a lot of burst damage in.
I just realized that when IceFrog added Spider Legs, he innately buffed Arteezy. He can't get sprouted. He can't get cliffed.
Everything is just
his
for him.
weaknesses in the late game are all alleviated by those Spider Legs. I think he'll probably keep those for the rest of the game, honestly, because
They're so good.
you don't want to get Quelling Blade, or you don't want to have Quelling Blade, and you don't want to get sprouted for 6 seconds.
Oh.
Smoked up. Here we go. Arteezy leading the way.
Yeah, Bryle, he did just purchase that Demon Edge. There's going to be the duel. He does not have a buyback here, by the way. They're just going to triple Remnant into the Meteor. What are you doing, Bryle? He gets caught out by himself, and now they're going to try to chase down Moonmeander, who has a Carapace, but they're just chasing him down. Can they get him? They do. Bolas go up. Owie gets hit as well. They freeze him on under. He's going to throw that ulti out, but a nice tornado from Ryoya hitting onto 2, and all of a sudden, crazy.
What is going on?
Are you guys doing, Bryle? That's the Bryle we kind of talk about, BSG, where he does have this amazing laning phase, plays so well, and it's honestly the same as Ryoya, right? They always sometimes have that one play that just makes you scratch your head a little bit.
Your positioning is just away from your team when you're farming. You could just wait for your team to get there. The creeps are going to be there for another 30 seconds or so. No reason to give that small window to a team like EG. Even Bulba's going to be able to manage to catch you when you're that out of position.
He has 74. He hasn't actually gotten another duel win since, I believe, almost the 18-minute mark. All 74 of that has came before, but he did get the lockdown. They don't need the plus damage at that point. Just kill the SF, and crazy. Oh, no, Ryoya goes down. Okay, nice gank. Kezu and Skeeter just fine, and that's huge, because it looked like Arteezy and the boys were ready to go up through the mid lane.
Yeah, we should just rewind your voice line to you saying, Ryoya doing the same thing.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
He does it like
and
13,
look at the
seconds
gold,
later.
because you talk about it, it's only about the kill streak. You just gave 800 gold to the safe lane DK.
Oh my god, I had no idea he was on a dominating streak. At this stage in the game, a dominating streak is worth that much? That's crazy.
800 gold to them.
The way they made it work is it scales based on your level now. So at the early game, I think it was level 17 is where it hits the threshold of being more than it was prior.
Yeah.
Or no, they did that for XP, but it still works the same for as the later the game goes for gold. But something like that, where this stage in the game, you're feeding a ton of gold just for being on a dominating spree. And he's going for a sheepstick on the Invoker. No defensive items.
That was slick. They do the two-man take of the outpost at 35.59. Get it. So they deny 750 EXP to every Dire hero. Crazy.
What's 5 times 750, Grant?
Give me 1 sec. Let me do the math. 3,500 to be like 3750.
Damn.
Is that actually right?
That's why we pay him the big bucks. Grant's science and math is just unstoppable.
The key is you do the single digit first, and then you add up the extra.
Don't give away your secrets just like that, Grant.
Sorry.
At least make people fight for it.
Oh, there's going to be the BKB. They get the duel off. Legion Commander is getting right-click down. I'm not sure you're winning this fight, but is he going to give up the damage? He does. Moonmeander says, thank you, sir. And Arteezy, he's getting locked down this time. He is not winning this man fight versus Brawl. And all of a sudden, this fight looks so much better for Crazy. No more of these silly pickups. Crazy's winning. They are. And uh-oh, Ryoya will Ghost Walk out. Crit makes it out. But you lost Arteezy, you lost Fly, and you lost Bulba. And you gave some damage up even to Moonmeander, and you used 2 buybacks. It feels like Crazy you can take 1 set of rags. You pressure the second as well, right? Maybe, oh, there's the buyback. You want to force it out. He is TPing forward Bulba once again. Oh, he kills the Kurt. It's actually going to be Skeeter. That was his assault curious, but Bulba goes down, and Skeeter's like, all right, I didn't want it anyways.
I think he wanted it, but
He'll take the trade, I think.
I think Bulba diebacking.
It's pretty bad at this point in the game. It feels like it might be Curtains. They'll back up on Crazy. It doesn't maybe just go top. You do have the creep wave up there still.
Oh, he took the 25% Vampiric Aura lifesteal on Wraith King, so he does have the 67.5% lifesteal for free from his passive. That's a lot of lifesteal.
It is. But you got to be able to attack, and we saw him in that
Spell
last
Prism
fight.
on
He kinda just got
DK.
beat down.
That's actually so good on DK. Spell Prism.
12 attributes, cooldown reduction. Yeah, that seems pretty
Dude,
good.
That's actually so good on DK. Wow. It's his level 20 talent plus some bonuses.
Yeah. You just get a free. You get like an Ogre Club plus 2 extra things. Feels pretty good.
Does he take the Dragon Tail or the HP and or the regen and armor here? Level 25 DK. Because of the Silver Edge, I might lean towards the Dragon Tail stun. That's a long time. But at the same time, as a carry, you might just take the luxury one for yourself.
Yeah.
Come
And
on,
he's
the
thinking
suspense.
about it too.
The suspense.
Skeeter, what do you got for us? What is going on in that
Type
noggin
1
of
in
yours?
chat if it's Dragon Tail. Type 2 if it's the Dragon's Blood. Okay, anyone who typed 1, you're a nerd.
Yep.
Noob. I was going to say nerd,
Not nerd
but
noob, yeah, and then you
yeah.
kind of just struggled, but
Ugh.
you got him.
Got him.
Bryle level 25 now, and he gets the -5 presence, aura armor, paired up with that level 15 talent. We saw him. They shred buildings.
Oh, I didn't even realize the level 25 talent. That's insane. DK not only has the cooldown for all of his abilities, but also the Shadow Blade, Halberd, and BKB all benefit from that. That is quite nice for him. He'll probably queue up a Silver Edge of his own at some point.
Give the Ags to the DK. It
Oh,
is an
please.
Ags on Roche. You are going to have an assault.
Maybe Nyx, but I like it on
Kyrus.
DK.
I think, dude, this DK would become an absolute monster.
He'd
Let's
become
see.
thick. Give it to him.
Yes, the
dude.
Black Dragon.
It's actually so good if you don't have to buy it. Like, it's one of the best upgrades. So what it does is it gives you free pathing while you're in your ult. It gives you magic resistance, and it gives you, I believe, all of your stuff gets buffed a bit. Like your movement speed slow, your attack speed slow, your splash damage. Okay, fight.
They're moving in. Who are they going to find first? It is Brawl taking a lot of damage. He pops the Satanic, and he just fully heals Arteezy. He's like, wait, I thought I was doing damage to you. No, sir, you're not. Duel on the backlines. It will be on KheZu. Can they bring him down? Bulba is going to be the next one to fall. Can they at least get the Nature Spark? Meteor Hammer on the 3 from Crit. What a play from him. But Arteezy, he has to get back. He gets the Silver Edge up on the DK, but it doesn't feel like you're doing enough damage. Crit will be the next one to go down. Arteezy has that ultimate. It will get popped, slowing down everyone. There's the sheep on Skeeter, but a trap in. There's the fear, and we see it. They talked about in the draft about this Shadow Fiend, right? Like, you use the ulti, and then when he respawns, what do? He's been saving the ulti for him to respawn. And it is the Black Dragon. Watch the rage. Look at that. And
dude,
he does
the
a lot of damage.
The attacks look so cool.
They do.
It looks really cool with this set, too. This is my favorite DK set. Sorry, guys,
It's
you can't
over.
buy it. It's a compendium set from like 3 years ago.
The game's over, BSJ.
I said GG. What do
You
mean?
did. You did indeed. They want to take one last fight, but Crit, he just gets brought down. The good game is called, and Crazy was a little bit of a crazy upset in this game one. And let's be real, they